Afternoon. On behalf of Deepthi and her incredible team, who've worked very, very hard to make today possible, a warm welcome to each one of you. I know many of you have traveled long distances to be here, or have taken time off your busy summer schedule. Thank you. In traditional Indian classical dance, or Indian classical music for that matter, a performance such as this is typically when the guru symbolically tells the world that their student, after years of dedicated practice, is ready for stage. It's variously called Arangetram, Rangapravesham, Manch Pravesham. All mean the same thing, essentially. The student ascends a public forum for the first time. This practice is in accordance with the ancient concept of Guru Sishya Parampara, which is a teacher-student tradition or lineage, where knowledge is passed from the teacher to the student in successions. So what happens here is, more importantly, this kind of a relationship this establishes a relationship between the teacher, who's the master, to the student who has practiced a lot and who also learns the art. So during this time, the student acquires all and masters the art, and then becomes the teacher. Deepthi has always been passionate, or I would say fanatical, about dance. Many of you will recall her dancing while strapped to her stroller during parties, and crying when the music was switched off. Well, this passion continued through her school years, to the extent that she first learned Odissi, then moved to Bharatanatyam, then ballet, lyrical, hip-hop, jazz, pretty much all at the same time. And her interest in Bollywood, in addition to all this, was in her own time. Until she got her driver license a couple years ago, Rama was her designated driver 6 days a week, 9 months in a year. And she did a pretty good job of it, I will tell you that. In the meantime, I was busy solving and lending moral support and solving huge problems like world hunger and poverty. Yeah, somebody's got to do it.
Yeah, uncle.
Accordingly, today's program has a slightly different flavor and twist compared to a traditional Arangeshram. Deepthi wanted just two things. That this event is a combination of her favorite dance forms and her role model, Divya, should provide the accompanying vocals. Of course, once that decision was made, Rama and Deepthi then started to discuss with their teachers the individual items and how they would be interwoven into a cohesive dance. Trust me, you didn't want to be in those conversations, mother-daughter conversations, right? And I can reveal one thing now. At that time, all the earth-shaking, shattering events that were passed off as nuclear war was actually Rama and Deepthi having active conversations. Well, but regardless, I will confess that I am no dancer. I have 2 left feet. And when it comes to dance, I can relate to what Bob Hope said. He said he lived in a small house with 10 brothers. And his first knowledge of dance was standing in line waiting for the bathroom, for that one bathroom they had. But even to a self-confessed Philistine such as me,
can you hear me?
The effort that Rama
Uncle.
and Deepthi
Uncle, can you hear
have
me?
put into this is absolutely mind-boggling. And so,
Yeah.
today, Deepthi's
Yeah.
Bharatanatyam segment is going to feature
Right.
some kritis or songs on Krishna's life. And then the Western segment is going to
batteries.
feature 2 of her favorite icons. And then we have Bollywood. Bollywood? Performance like this? Of course, yes. It's not surprising
Yeah, it's working
that
fine.
song and dance have played such an important part in Indian movies.
Alright,
An interesting
yeah,
tidbit.
He,
After all,
Vijay uncle just went
the
to go give it
first
to the MC.
proof of human civilization dancing were recovered from rock
Alright, you can hear me
sculptures,
now,
rock sculptures
Okay.
in about dating back to about 30,000 years ago from Bhimbetka in India. Yes, in India. First proof of human civilization dancing. So what does that tell us? Well, it tells us that Indian men have been dancing to their wives' tunes for more than 30,000 years. But jokes apart, Bollywood has been quick to incorporate global dance forms. And so today, what you will be seeing as part of Bollywood is a choreographed mosaic of global dance styles. That said, it's with mixed emotions that Rama and I stand here before you today, welcoming you all. Why? Ecstatic that Deepthi is finally going to realize her ambition very soon. Proud that our daughters, Divya and Deepthi, have put in a lot of effort and dedicated a lot of time to practicing for this and to prepare for this. Humbled by our extended family and friends who have unconditionally dropped whatever they were doing. Yeah, somebody's phone. Pursue to, to make they're humbled by the fact that extended family have unconditionally dropped all their busy schedules and helped to pull this along. And sad that after this event, in a few short weeks, Deepthi will be leaving for Keene State to pursue her dreams in psychology and, yes, you guessed it, dance. During this incredibly stressful period of preparation and practice, Deepthi has drawn inspiration from Beyonce, Queen Bey's two quotes. I don't like to gamble, but one thing I will bet on anytime is myself. And never let success go to your head or failure get to your heart. And I think if she keeps this in mind, she'll be okay. Music and dance go together, they go hand in hand. After all, dance gives visibility to music and story. So, sit back, relax, see the music, see the story through Deepthi's eyes. Thank you.
Welcome all. Today is July 30th. It is an important day for Henry Ford, Arnold Schwarzenegger, and Lisa Kudrow. You probably know her as Phoebe in Friends, all of whom were born on this day. But it is perhaps the most important day for Deepthi as she graduates to her first solo dance recital, appropriately named Natamala. So thank you all for being here. I'm sure your blessings and good wishes will carry her to many, many more such performances. Before we proceed, I would like to share some important house rules. No flash photography, please. For pictures of Deepthi performing, please contact Rama. And for those selfie addicts, a photo booth will be at your disposal during dinner. I request the audience to please stay seated during the performance, and yes, there will be a short bio break. Children are not allowed to wander inside or outside hallways and stairs. This is a safety requirement. Parents, I request you to please keep an eye on your children. Please mute your cell phones and maintain silence during the performance. And lastly, snacks and drinks are absolutely not permitted in the auditorium. That said, sit back and enjoy the show. Bharatanatyam is an Indian classical dance art form that has its origin in the Natya Shastra in 4000 BC. Legend has it that Lord Brahma gave the Natya Veda, or the science of dance, to sage Bharata, who then presented the art form with a group of Gandharvas, or heavenly musicians, and Apsaras, or heavenly dancers, to Lord Shiva. Pleased with sage Bharata, Lord Shiva, along with his consort Parvati, proceeded to instruct him in the art of Bharatanatyam to be disseminated to the world. Bharatanatyam is a relatively modern term, the ancient name being Sadar. It is compounded from Bha for bhava, or emotional projection, Ra for raga, or melody, and Ta for tala, or rhythm. The Natyam has three main aspects: Natya, the drama or storytelling; Nritta, the abstract component with no symbolism; and Nritya, which combines both dance and drama. Arangetram in Tamil, or Rangapravesham in Kannada or Telugu, means ascending the stage. It is an old tradition and maintained in the 3rd century classic Silabatigaram. It is the first formal presentation of a student to an audience by the teacher and takes place after basic and arduous training. On the day of the Arangetram, the student offers her knowledge of this art form at the feet of the Guru, to the audience, and to Lord Nataraja. After the Arangetram, the student continues to pursue excellence in their advanced study of the dance. Today's theme for Bharatanatyam is the story of Lord Krishna's life, from a young child to a young man. We start today's program with Sri Ganesha Charanam, an invocation to Lord Ganesha to ward off obstacles during this performance. The translation of this piece is as follows. I bow to you, O Lord Ganesha, who is praised by sages and elevated souls as the most compassionate one. He who is the elephant-faced and wears snakes as ornaments and is fond of the modaka. He is the son of Parvati. Without his assistance, even Brahma and Vishnu cannot perform their duties. Charanam refers to surrendering to or finding sanctuary at the feet of the divine. With the surrender of mind, word, and deed, one is empowered with the remembrance that our very existence is the result of divine grace. This is a surrender to our deeper meaning and bliss. Now presenting Sri Ganesha Charanam. This is a composition of Papanasam Shivam, set to Ragam Tilang, Talam Adi.
Shuklam Baradaram Vishnum Shashivarnam Chaturbhujam Prasannavadanam Dhyayete Sarvavighnopashantaye Charanam Gajanana Shri Ganesha Charanam Gajanana Shri Ganesha Charanam Gajanana Shri Ganesha Charanam Gajanana Devar Munivar Paniyam Dayakara Charanam Gajanana Devar Munivar Paniyam Dayakara Shri Ganesha Ramadasa
Now, let us travel to the enduring times of childhood truancy. In this next dance, Yashoda, Krishna's mother, cajoles him to come to her quickly, describing him thus: the one who wears anklets on his feet, wearing the waistband around his waist, a beautiful ring on his finger, his neck adorned with the Vaijayanti Mala. The Vaijayanti Mala is the divine Vaishnava necklace of 5 gems: the pearls, ruby, emerald, sapphire, and diamond. Dressed in yellow kashi silk, with a flute in your hand, and with the sandal paste applied all over the body, O Krishna, come quickly. The composer also relates the divine moment when Yashoda, in scolding her son for eating dirt and mud, asks him to open his mouth, and instead sees a vision of the entire universe. She then becomes aware of the divinity of her child. Deepthi will now present Krishna Ni Begane Baro, composed by Vyasaraya, set to Yamuna Kalyani Ragam in Mishra Chapu Thalam.
Krishna
our young Lord Krishna has grown to be a handsome man. A young maiden smitten with love for Krishna invites him to spend some time together in the garden by the banks of the river Yamuna. "Oh Krishna," she says, "look at that beautiful river filled with water. Come, let us go there and bury ourselves in each other's arms." But the ever mischievous Krishna refuses to go with her. He tries to hold her hand. She is aghast at this show of familiarity. She says, "How can I hold my hands with you in public and walk around this garden? People will misunderstand me, and my reputation will be in tatters. So please, Krishna, let us go to the banks where the birds are also singing the language of love and where we will be one." Presenting Chaliye by Swati Tirunal in Vrindavana Saranga Ragam and Talam Adi. this time, I would like to introduce the musicians for this evening. We have Prakash Rao on the mridangam. Stage lights, please. Prakash Rao began his mridangam training in 1977 under the late Sri K. Sudarshana Acharyalu of Hyderabad. Since 1982, he has had the honor and privilege of training under one of the greatest exponents of mridangam, the late Sangeeta Kalanidhi Kalamamani Sri Vellur Ramabhadran. Prakash first ascended the stage in 1980 and has since performed in more than 2,000 concerts and dance programs in India and US. Ladies and gentlemen, Sri Prakash Rao. We have Skanda Prasad Rao on the flute. Skanda has been learning Carnatic vocal music from the age of 3 and has been learning flute from the age of 8 from his mother, Dr. Bhavani Prakash, a talented and versatile A-grade All India radio artist. As a vocalist, Skanda gave his first vocal concert before the age of 9 and has since given many other solo vocal concerts. He was one of the finalists in the Carnatic Idol vocal music competition in 2012 and has won many prizes in Cleveland music competitions in both vocal and flute. He has participated in many of the musical productions and presentations directed by his mother and by many of the other prominent musicians in New Jersey and tri-state area. Skanda has also played flute at several Bharatanatyam Arangetrams and Kuchipudi Rangapraveshams. Skanda on the flute. Next we have Shweta Narsimhan on the violin. Shweta is a senior student of Srimati Gauri Ramakrishnan in New Jersey, from whom she has been learning for the past 10 years. She started learning violin at the age of 6 from Dr. Narayan Raman in Indianapolis, and was later taught by several violinists, including Sri Purnachandra Rao, Trichy Sri Satyamurthy, and Srimati Lalgudi Vijayalakshmi. Shweta has won first prizes in several music festivals, and she enjoys playing for vocal, instrumental, and dance programs around the country. Shweta graduated in May 2015 from Bryn Mawr College with a degree in math, and in May 2016 with a master's in education from the University of Pennsylvania. Shweta is a high school teacher in the school district of Philadelphia. And an interesting tidbit about Shweta I'd like to share. She actually played the violin for Divya's music arangetram in 2010. So she's now performing for her sister, Deepthi. So she's family for us now. We have our very own Deepthi Sriram as the vocalist for this evening. Divya. Sorry, Divya. Divya Sriram is a senior Carnatic vocal student of Balaganam Rhythm Music School under the instruction of Srimati Divya Balasubramanian in Philadelphia and her sister, Srimati Deepa Vivekanandan in Maryland. Prior to moving to Washington, D.C., Divya learned from Srimati Meena Malladi for 15 years in New York and completed her vocal arangetram in 2010. Over the course of 16 years as a trained vocalist in classical and Bollywood genres, Divya has participated in a number of seasonal music festivals and competitions in the US. Divya graduated from Penn State University in 2014 with a concentration in biological sciences and a health policy administration. She currently lives in Washington, D.C., working in healthcare management and always rooting for her sister, Deepthi, from afar. That's why I get them mixed up a lot. We have Deepti's guru, Lisa Joseph, on the Natwangam. Lisa Joseph started her initial training in Bharatanatyam under RLV Usha. Under her guidance, she completed her Arangetram in 1993. She also learned Mohiniyattam from Kalanilayam Chellamma, who is a disciple of Kala Mandalam Kalyani Kutti Amma. Lisa was fortunate to do a 10-day Gurukulam workshop under the renowned VP and Shanta Dhananjayan. She also received a short training under Manjari Chandrasekhar, daughter of C.V. Chandrasekhar. Lisa's current guru is Srimati Shamala Surendran of Dharani Performing Arts, who is a senior disciple of the Dhananjayans and Kalanidhi Narayanan. She has performed in various venues in India and US and has conducted several workshops and lecture demonstrations. A few lines about Lisa's dance school. Lisa Joseph started the Natya Mudra School of Dance in 2002 and is a premier institution for Indian classical dances. The school has been dedicated in providing quality training in Bharatanatyam and has multiple branches in New York and Connecticut. Natya Mudra has completed 4 student Arangetrams. Lisa's students have won several competitions, including Indian American Festival, Asha Idol, Folkana, Saraswati Awards, Vedic Heritage, Samskriti Festival, and Starbound. Our musicians will now perform a couple of kritis for us, after which Deepthi will continue with her performance. I request the audience to please stay seated, as this is not a break. Thank you. In the next item, Lord Krishna is described through the lens of love. The devotional hymn Madhurashtakam of Sri Vallabhacharya was created to lead the devotee in the path of grace, which involves a constant love-filled devotion to Krishna. Madhurashtakam deals with the qualities and deeds of Lord Krishna, all of which have been conceptualized as being dipped in madhu, meaning honey or nectar. In the eyes of the devotee, everything that pertains to Lord is sweet and graceful. He being the Lord of all sweetness. The body of Madhurashtakam includes many qualities, attributes, and motives associated with Krishna. In the loved bhakti frame of mind, the devotee falls in love with divinity and as a result extols the virtue and beauty of her beloved God. While at the superficial level, this may seem as the love between a man and a woman, at a deeper level, it represents the attraction of the individual soul to the supreme consciousness. Deepthi will now present Madhurashtakam, composed by Vallabhacharya in Tilang Ragam and set to Adi Talam.
चरितं मधुरं वसनं मधुरं परितजपादम् एकं न गच्छति
தடிக்கடிக்கதீனு தக்கிட்ட தத்தளாங்குதோம் தகதித்தடிக்கடிக்கதீனு தக்கிட்ட தத்தளாங்குதோம் தடிக்கடிக்க தக்க தத்தளாங்குதோம் தீங்கு தடிக்க தக்க தத்தளாங்குதோம் தடிக்கடிக்க தீங்கு தக்கிட்ட தலாங்கு திங்கினத்தும் தலாங்கு ததிங்கினத்தும் தலாங்கு ததிங்கினத்தும்
गुञ्जा मधुरा माला मधुरः यमुना मधुरः विचे मधुरा गुञ्जा मधुरा माला मधुरः यमुना मधुरः विचे मधुरा सलिलं मधुरं कमलं मधुरं सलिलं मधुरं कमलं मधुरं मधुरादिततेरखिलं मधुरम् अखिलं मधुरम् अखिलं मधुरं वृन्दावन परितजपादम् एकं न गच्छति
தக்க தகதித்தா தித்தா கடதரெடுதோம் தகதித்தகனகதித்தகதித்தை தித்தை கடதரெடுதோம் தித்தகனகதா கடதரெடுதோம் தித்தகனகதா கடதரெடுதோம் கடதரெடுதோம் தித்தகனகதா கடதரெடுதோம் கடதரெடுதோம் கடதரெடுதோம்
गोपा मधुरा गावो मधुरः यष्टिर्मधुरः सृष्टिर्मधुरा गोपा मधुरा गावो मधुरः यष्टिर्मधुरः सृष्टिर्मधुरा फलितं मधुरं फलितं मधुरं फलितं मधुरं फलितं मधुरं मधुराधिपते अखिलं मधुरम् अखिलं मधुरम् अखिलं मधुरं वृन्दावन परितजपादम् एकं न गच्छति
தித்தகனகதித்தகதித்தா தித்தா கடதரெடுதோம் தகதித்தகனகதித்தகதித்தை தித்தை கடதரெடுதோம் தித்தகனகதா கடதரெடுதோம் தித்தகனகதா கடதரெடுதோம் கடதரெடுதோம் தித்தகனகதா கடதரெடுதோம் கடதரெடுதோம் கடதரெடுதோம்
गोपी मधुरा लीला मधुरः युक्तं मधुरं मुक्तं मधुरं गोपी मधुरा लीला मधुरः युक्तं मधुरं मुक्तं मधुरं त्रिष्टं मधुरं श्रेष्ठं मधुरं ज्येष्ठं मधुरं श्रेष्ठं मधुरं मधुराधिपतेरखिलं मधुरम् अखिलं 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 मधुरम् अखिलं
Culminating the Bharatanatyam segment of Natyamala is the dance of Shiva. This is the dance depicting Shiva as the supreme being, dancing in pure bliss and causing the universe to pulse and reverberate with his every movement. This dance of Shiva is also known as the cosmic dance and refers to the movement of atoms and the balance that keeps the whole of creation alive. Tatai and Raduvar by Gopalakrishnan Bharati, set in Sindhu Bhairavi Ragam, Talam Adi.
என்றாடுவார் அவர் தத்தித்தை என்றாடுவார் தாத்தை 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 என்றாடுவார் அவர் தத்தித்தை என்றாடுவார் தகிட தகிடத்தை என்றாடுவார் அவர் ஜம் தகிடத்தை என்றாடுவார் தீம் தருகிடத்தை என்றாடுவார் அவர் ஜம் தருகிடத்தை என்றாடுவார் தீம் தருகிடத்தை என்றாடுவார் அவர் ஜம் தருகிடத்தை என்றாடுவார் ஆடுவார் 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 ஆதி பராபரம் ஆதி பராபரம் ஆகிய சித்தே ஆதி பராபரம் ஆகிய சித்தே ஆதி பராபரம் ஆகிய சித்தே ஆதி பராபரம் ஆகிய சித்தே ஆதி பராபரம் ஆகிய சேதே ஆனந்தம் கொண்டொரு காணையடே ஆனந்தம் கொண்டொரு காணையடே ததிம் தகதீம் ததிம் தகஜனு தீம் தீம் தகிட ஜம் ததீம் தி தரிகிட தகஜனு தீம் தி ததீங்கின தோம் ததீங்கின தோம் ததீங்கின தோம் ததீம் தகதீம் தகஜனு தீம் தீம் தகிட ஜம் ததீம் தி தரிகிட தகஜனு தீம் தி தரிகிட தரிகிட தீம் தி தரிகிட தரிகிட தீம் தத்து தரிகிட தரிகிட தாத்தையன் சாடுவார் அவர் தத்தித்தை என்றாடுவார் தாத்தையன் சாடுவார் அவர் தத்தித்தை என்றாடுவார் தத்தித்தை என்றாடுவார் ஆடுவார் 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 அந்த சராச்சரம் எங்கும் நடுங்க அந்த சராச்சரம் எங்கும் நடுங்க அந்த சராச்சரம் எங்கும் நடுங்க ஆடி சேரனார் முடிகள் நெருங்க ஆடி சேரனார் முடிகள் நெருங்க ஆடி சேரனார் முடிகள் நெருங்க பார்ப்புகழும் தில்லை
I now request Sri Ram to honor Sri Prakash Rao, the Mirdangist. I now request Deepthi's cousin Nandu to honor Skandar Rao, the flutist. Nandu. I request Deepthi's cousin Mahika to honor Kumari Shweta Narsimhan, the violinist. And now Deepthi will honor her big sister and her role model, Divyaka. It has always been her dream for Akka to sing at her performance, and today it has come true. I request Rama to honor Lisa Joseph, Deepthi's guru, and I would also request Srimati Vijaya Kulluru to come on stage, please. And Vijaya is responsible for making Deepthi look perfect on stage. So she's our makeup artist, and I would request Deepthi to honor her. Ladies and gentlemen, the orchestra for this evening. So we are done with the most serious part of this dance recital, Bharatanatyam. And now we move on to something further west, but closer to home. Many of you know that Deepthi grew up dancing and that she took all these Bharatanatyam lessons and such. But she has also been dabbling in hip-hop, lyrical, jazz, ballet, tap. And to showcase those lessons, she will now be doing a lyrical dance style. Oh, I made a mistake. It's hip-hop. And in my advancing age, I cannot see without my glasses. And there isn't enough light on my papers here. Can you all hear me, folks? Okay. So now, we move on to a more contemporary dance form. And for those of you who think, yeah, this is just this Western thing, you just throw your arms and legs around, let me tell you, this is as tough as Bharatanatyam, and it requires a lot of respect. Everyone has heard of hip-hop. It's a rogue, rough-hewn dance that originated in the streets of our very own New York. It is known by a distinctive locking, popping, and breaking, which has roots in salsa, mambo, jazz, and martial arts. But hip-hop is not just a dance. It's a way of talking, walking, and dressing centered around creating identity and respect on the street. It was a struggle for meaning in the midst of poverty and social alienation, and rerouted negative energies into art. And because it channeled raw, untutored talent and energy into an art form, it provided legitimacy and currency to street culture, which in turn made it a part of the mainstream pop culture. Hip-hop has 4 distinct elements: DJing through music, MCing or rapping with words, graffiti, which is writing or art, and breaking or breakdancing. Its very essence is athleticism, attitude, originality, competition, and dominance through one's mastery over muscle, mind, and it showcases one's artistry despite personal circumstances. Hip means present, and hop means action. Hip-hop became popular through dance parties. Hip-hop represents youth and the freedom to learn and evolve.
And that, ladies and gentlemen, is a pretty apt description of Deepthi herself. And now my girl Deepthi gonna bring it with some girl power. And you know what I'm saying when I tell you, she gonna bring it with love till the end of time. While she be hip and she be hop to the magic of Beyonce. Word. I was supposed to mic drop, but this thing is attached here. This dance form requires as much respect as Bharatanatyam. I have tried it, and great kudos to the instructors here. This is a difficult dance form, and I want you to pay attention because later we'll practice in the parking lot. Thank you. So how was that, folks? So that was hip hop. And watching it from stage, if you want to know what that feels like doing that, it's like doing 30 jumping jacks, followed by 4 crunches, followed by 40 jumping jacks with more crunches. And you got to do it with a smile and not pant. So that was hard. So while we wait for them to turn the next music on, I have a few questions to ask. If any of you here in the audience have always wanted to dance, but didn't because you're not good enough, raise your hands. You can raise your hands because there's a light shining in my eyes and I can't see you. So raise your hands. So this moment is a great moment for you to make a resolve saying, it doesn't matter if I make a fool of myself, but just to enjoy the glory of the dance, I'm going to try it when I finish this program. And if there is any other art form that you have wanted to dabble in and you didn't because you feel you're too old or you're not good enough, today would be a great day to start. And the lesson we learned from is Deepthi, because she dabbles in as many things as she can, and you have to accept it. So the next dance Deepthi will be doing is called lyrical. And lyrical is a completely different dance form. It's also from the West, but it has different elements. So let us travel from the world of classical Indian dance and rogue hip hop to a dance form that is relatively modern and from the West also. Lyrical dance is a combination of ballet and jazz forms. It's faster and more, more fluid than ballet and slower than jazz. Thank you, Jesus. It is performed to music with lyrics describing strong emotions. It is called lyrical because the dance is poetic, spontaneous, expressive, subtle, dynamic, technical, gripping, and yet delicate. It requires a good foundation in ballet to execute the combination of technical choreography with simple everyday movements. The distinctive characteristics of lyrical dance are the quality of flowing seamlessly from one move to another and holding the finishing steps for as long as you can. The leaps are high and soaring, and the turns are fluid and continuous. The dance form is lyrical because it's a whole body expression of strong emotion that carries the dance past the choreography into the realm of pure feeling. So, how does one find relief from the harsh, cold, gray skies of winter? By dreaming of California, of course. Deepthi will now perform a lyrical dance to California Dreaming by Sia.
The time call phone's blowing up. Ring on my doorbell. I feel the love, feel the love. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, drink. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, drink. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, drink. Turn back till I lose sight. 'Cause I'm just holding on for tonight. Help me, I'm holding on for dear life. Won't look down, won't open my eyes. Keep my glass full until morning. All the leaves are brown and the sky is gray. I've been for a walk on a winter's day. I'd be safe and warm if I was in LA. California dreaming, oh, on such a winter's day. All the leaves are brown and the sky is gray. I've been for a walk on a winter's day. I'll be safe and warm if I was in LA. Oh, California dreaming on such a winter's day. I stopped into a church. I passed along the way. Oh, I got down on my knees and I pretended to pray. You know the preacher likes to go. He knows I'm gonna stay. California dreaming on such a winter's day. Oh, such a winter's day. On such a winter's
Could we have another round of applause for that dance, folks? And for the first time tonight, I can actually see you guys. It's a pleasure. We will be having a slideshow of Deepthi's journey of dance from when she emerged from Rama, I think. I have the dubious distinction of not just being Deepthi's Prabha auntie, but I'm also her classmate when I took Odissi dance lessons. And one of the memories I had was that we would go for class every Sunday, and then if I met her socially, I would say, Deepthi, do you remember that dance step? She says, yeah, auntie, I remember. You do this, and then you do that, and then you do like that. So then I'd ask, was I absent? No, you were standing right behind me. So that's youth for you. And Anuji, my guru, would look at me with her eyes and then look at Deepthi and say, you see how she learns? You've been learning longer and look what she's doing. So Deepthi in many ways has been my guru too. And while I'm here with the mic, I have to acknowledge Saroja Koluru and Nidhi Chillara, who just like Deepthi did Arangetrams many years ago. And I embarked on my Odissi dance journey after watching these children who grew up in the United States and took up these dance forms. And I urge you once again, if you have a dream, please take it up and be brave about it.
Dear Deepthi could be a part to me about the dance, so I can't believe with my little baby niece has grown up and going to be a stage. And so I'm proud of you. You are all clever girl and will become very famous soon. I'm sad I cannot be there to see you. So, but it will be waiting for a video. Dear Deepthi, may God bless you. Rahman will praise you always. I can't wait to see you all again. Happy wish you all a lot.
Congratulations, Deepthi. Good luck in college, and I can't wait to see all the amazing things you do.
Congrats on graduating in your art engagement drum. You're going to kill it next year. Go Owls!
Hi, Deepthi. I can't believe you graduated high school already. Keene State is so lucky to have you next year, and I know you'll do great things and you dance your way through these next 4 years. Good luck.
Didi, I've missed you so much, and I'm so happy I get to see you again. I know I don't know much about dance, but I'm so happy that you've learned it and you're very good at it. Thank you for being my favorite cousin. Love you and good luck.
Hi, Deepthi. Ever since we were young, you were always the first one on the dance floor. Do you remember the guy at Lake Compounds who always tried to get the crowd to dance? You wouldn't even hesitate. I'm so proud of everything you've accomplished, and I love you so much. You're going to do amazing things next year. Go Owls!
Hi, my name is Phoebe Badness, and I've been friends with Deepthi since 2nd grade, and I'm so happy to say that she's now one of my best friends for life. Beyond being an amazing, caring, and sweet friend, Deepthi is also passionate about many things. The thing that she's most passionate and dedicated to is dance, whether it was teaching, learning, or just being part of the dance community. I'm so happy and proud of Deepthi for putting on this show, and I can't wait to see it. Good luck, Deeps. I know you're going to kill it.
Hey guys, it's Akash here, and as someone who's known Deepthi since pretty much the beginning, I just wanted to say that the future is bright, and Keene will treat you right. Oh hey, look, that rhymed. We've been through a lot together, running around as kids, the parties, prom. Needless to say, we're like family. Kill it out there today. You deserve it.
Don't think about it, just move your body. Listen to the music, sing oh eh oh. Just move those left feet, go ahead, get crazy. Anyone can do it, sing oh eh oh. Show the world you got that fire.
Oh, I know you can do better than that. Come on, is everyone having fun? All right. Amazing, huh? Amazing talent. And talking about talent, Prabha, quit your day job and take up, stand-up comedy. Okay, Prabha was actually right. I cannot see anything. Okay, hello everyone. I'm Sandhya, Deepthi's aunt. You know, for very early on, we knew Deepthi was meant for greater things in life. You know, although I saw a great potential of her as a dancer, I was actually secretly worried about her skills that she would actually sell the Taj Mahal or the Golden Gate to you, looking straight into your eyes. Right? I have to tell you a story. You know, I'm the cool aunt from California, by the way. Right? But after I tell you guys the story, I may not be cool anymore. So there was a time when I was visiting them. I think Deepthi may have been about maybe 8 or 9 years old. Divya had a friend over. You heard earlier that, you know, Divya is her role model, right? So Divya and her friend had their room door closed. And Deepthi obviously was feeling very unincluded and neglected. There was an awkward silence in the house. And then, you know, I was like, okay, let me go see what Deepthi is up to. So Deepthi was sitting right in front of their room with a half-empty bottle of shampoo. And I was like, Deepthi, what are you doing? And she goes with the bottle, I didn't do anything. I didn't pour shampoo in front of Divya's door. And she looked at me straight in the eye, you know, and she was super convincing. And I began to doubt myself after that. But then, you know, that's how she is. Well, on a serious note, you know, Deepthi, you're on to greater things in life, you know, and she's achieved a lot. We are very proud of her, what she's achieved as a person and as a dancer. From dancing to her favorite song, from Bumbaro Bumbaro to Chuma Chuma, you know, and today's Natyamala, what an incredible journey it has been. We love you very much, Deepthi. All the very best for everything you've set out to do, every adventure you would embark upon. Beware, Keene State, here comes our firecracker. Thank you.
So every time they can't find someone backstage, I get to come on stage. And this feels great because I'm speaking extemporaneously, so I don't need my glasses. So you get to see the best side of me, guys. The next segment is going to be the Bollywood segment. And the Bollywood segment was choreographed for Deepthi by my Odissi guru, Anandita Nanda. And Anandita Nanda is a native of Connecticut, and we do all these local performances with her. We see her locally, and we have begun to take her for granted. She's an extremely qualified dance teacher, and Odissi is an extremely difficult art form. And unlike Bharatanatyam, you have few students, they take it up, and then they have to go to birthday parties, and then that core group falls apart, and then she has to start with a new group all over again, starting from beginners. And so she has ended up teaching a lot of people Bollywood dance styles. And that's how she came to be Deepthi's Bollywood dance guru. So folks, I present you Anandita Nanda, master choreographer, Odissi dance teacher, MC, international dance persona, and there's so much more. But without further ado, I introduce Anandita Nanda. Applause, please.
I hope you are having a wonderful time so far. Give yourselves a round of applause if you are. This has been a very, very memorable journey for me personally, knowing Deepthi since she was a baby, being her Adi Guru, introducing her to classical dances, and then eventually seeing her flourish. So when she came to me with the project where we got to collaborate and where I got to actually manifest my ideas that have been brewing inside of me for a while, I was thrilled and excited, and it's been a phenomenal journey for over 5 months, trying to get our thoughts aligned, trying to understand her energy, trying to understand what she wants to present, and at the same time showing her what we should be presenting. Basically guiding her and helping her to understand dance from a perspective of becoming a choreographer or master choreographer, and understanding the different nuances that are involved in presentation, not just as a performer, but from the point of view of starting anything grassroots level. Thank you for the warm welcome. It is my pleasure to introduce this segment for my lovely and dear student Deepthi. Being an Odissi classical dancer myself, I believe that the classical dances are the soul of our culture, no doubt. But it is the film music that has kept the pulse of the nation beating to a joyful note and reaches all groups of people. Bollywood music, in terms of volume, has been singularly responsible for keeping our popular cultures alive by attaching dance and music to all our life happenings, be it weddings, birthday, romance, love, betrayals, separation, so on and so forth. For every life moment, there is a movie song sequence. That is what this segment is about, celebrating those moments through movements set to Bollywood music. I want to start by sharing what I feel binds us all here today. Life is a dance of balance. Life is creative falling. Life is half spent getting up. Life is learning to dance with a partner and learning to dance without one, and letting go enough to dance in the crowd. Life is a freestyle gig. Life is a twirl and a bow. Life is the best dance you have ever danced. To dance is to be out of yourself, larger, more beautiful, more powerful. We have tried to bring this larger-than-life phenomena of dancing tonight for your viewing pleasure and tingle your senses with not just dance and music, but we have actually orchestrated a multimedia presentation for our storytelling, which covers different eras through my eyes in the Indian cinema. Rightfully said, Indian cinema is incomplete without the Bollywood style of dancing, and we are proud to present to you a bouquet of such dance titled A Tribute to the Dancing Queens of Bollywood. Starting with the golden days of Asha Parekh and Deepthi Natamala to the supercharged age of Madhuri and Alia, Deepthi will present 10 magnificent dancing divas from the Indian cinema. From the black and white era with the innocence of Asha Parekh to the first female superstar Deepthi Natamala, to the dancing diva Helen, to the queen of Shararat or naughtiness Sridevi, to the ever elegant and graceful Madhuri, to the bubbly Kajol. The first segment of this presentation will showcase these heroines and their style of dancing. From designing the costumes to meticulously picking each song to showcase, and it's not limited to, almost 15 different genres of dance forms, including Bhangra, Kitta, Mambo, Salsa, Kathak, Bharatnatyam, Disco, Ghumar, Sapera, Dalkai, Raslila, Dandiya, and Middle Eastern dances, and the nuances of many, many more dance styles. It was a very fulfilling experience for me to choreograph this segment. It is a reflection of the richness of the repertoire and shows Deepthi's deep understanding and training under my guidance to learn and execute all these forms or categories of dance. Please be ready to be tickled pink when your favorite song shows up, and I'm sure it will. Without further ado, please welcome Deepthi with a thunderous round of applause.
Thank you so much for being here tonight. It truly means a lot to Deepthi, myself, my parents, and I, that all of you are showing your incredible love and support as you have been for 18 years for Deepthi. Many of you have seen Deepthi grow from her Munchkin baby days, so it's extremely appreciated that you all are here continuing to cheer for her. So I was volunteered to speak today by my mom to describe Deepthi's dance journey from the perspective of an older sibling. So in order for me to properly do this, I think it'll serve well to venture back a few years before Deepthi's era to really level set. So as you all may know, Deepthi and I are 6.5 years apart. So for those first 6.5 years, when Deepthi was merely just a twinkle in the sky, Amma and Appa did what every first-time parent did. They signed me up for every extracurricular activity known to man. And one of those high hopes, so they essentially signed me up for all of these things, hoping that one would stick and be worth the investment. And one of those high hopes was Bharatanatyam. Now, let it be known for the record that I had a wonderful teacher with years of experience under her belt and a lot of patience. But sadly, she was not a witch or a wizard, and it would have taken a God-given miracle to make me even the least bit graceful, so that did not happen well for me. Which is actually still kind of true till this day for anyone here who has had the unfortunate experience of seeing me dance. So when Deepthi was born, she showed more promise as a dancer within literally the first 2 months of her life than I did in 6.5 years. In fact, when I was gathering a bunch of home videos for the slideshow, which I heard didn't work, bummer, there were a million videos of Deepthi adorably dancing and everyone just like fondly admiring her, and then I would try to like sneak into the screen with some god-awful choreography. And then my parents would slowly but surely shift the camera back to Deepthi and just stay there for the remainder of the video, which is actually a great thing, although I think at the time I assumed it was because they loved her more than me. But you know my mom, she was all about equal opportunity, so she even put Deepthi in singing. So let's just say that went as far as my dancing career, which is why she's dancing and I'm singing. So since then, we vowed to never cross into each other's territories, and that has boded very well for us so far. Deepthi has been a fireball from the very start. Nothing and no one mattered once a song that she liked started playing, which is true even today. When Deepthi decided to do a show like this, it was really out of the box to include multiple dance styles, because an Arangetram, as has been told, is traditionally a solely classical performance. But in true Deepthi fashion, she wanted to do something totally unconventional and showcase all the genres that have shaped her entire childhood. And I thought it was incredibly ambitious and awesome. And my parents were like, great, of course she chooses the more expensive, more exhausting option. Actually, shout out to my parents really quick for putting this whole thing together. Yes. I just drove here from DC every other weekend, but my mom has coordinated so many teams that I think at the end of this, I'm convinced that she could run a presidential election. And I'm also convinced that with my dad standing beside her the entire time, he's prepared to listen throughout the entire presidential election. So seeing Deepthi dance her way through life has been really inspiring for me, actually, because it's challenging enough to sincerely do justice to one dance style, let alone the multiple that she has presented today and that she has committed herself to throughout her life. To all of her dance teachers here today and those who couldn't attend, this is truly a testament to how fantastic you all are. So, round of applause for you guys. When Deepthi asked me to sing for her classical section, I was beyond excited, but a little hesitant because, of course, there are like a number of more experienced singers, also dancers, than me. But naturally, I only wanted the best for her day. But I could not have been more proud sitting there singing for her. And a few seconds into the show, I realized that this munchkin who used to make up her own choreography to the chicken dance, which made no sense, is starting college this time next month and will begin to independently pave her path to the future. I'm more than thrilled to see what she has yet to accomplish. As her older sister, I claim to be wiser because, let's face it, all older siblings are. That's just a known fact. But one thing that Deepthi has relentlessly taught me is to raise the expectations for yourself and challenge the expectations that others have for you. Because then in the end, regardless of the outcome, you did something beyond what you or anyone else thought you could do. Thank you once again so much for being here and cheering for our Girl of the Hour, and I hope you enjoy the rest of the show. Thank you.
So right now, Deepthi will be presenting from the black and white era, the innocence of Asha Parekh, to the first female superstar Deepthi Mala, to the dancing diva Helen, to the queen of Shararat, Sri Devi to the ever elegant, graceful Madhuri to the bubbly Kajol. The first segment of the presentation will showcase these heroines and their styles of dancing. Please welcome Deepthi with a round of applause and double it up. Thank you.
बेरी के नीचे हरे पिया हरे 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 पिया कांटा लगा हाय लगा आजा राजा बंगले के पीछे तेरी बेरी के नीचे हरे पिया सैया दिल में आना रे आके फिर ना जाना रे वो आके फिर ना जाना रे छम छमा छम छम राजा बन के आना रे मोहे लेके जाना रे मोहे लेके जाना रे छम छमा छम होठों में ऐसी बात होठों में ऐसी बात में दबा के चली आई खुल जाए वही बात तो दुहाई है दुहाई होठों में ऐसी बात में दबा के चली आई खुल जाए वही बात तो दुहाई है दुहाई अरे हाँ बात जिसमें प्यार तो है जहर भी है हाय होठों में ऐसी बात में दबा के चली आई खुल जाए वही बात तो दुहाई है दुहाई
चाहे जिसे उसे पाए प्यार वो यार के जो नाम पे ही मिट जाए दिल वो चाहे जिसे उसे पाए प्यार वो यार के जो नाम पे ही मिट जाए जान के बदले में जान लो नजराना ये मेरा दिल प्यार का दीवाना 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 प्यार का परवाना
गा रही है इसका मतलब ये है मोर जब आधी रात को बोलता है तब मेरे दिल में कटार सी लगती है मोरनी बागामा बोले आजी रात माँ मोरनी बागामा बोले आजी रात माँ छनन छन चूड़ियाँ छनन छन चूड़ियाँ खनक गई देख साहिबा चूड़ियाँ खनक गई हाथ माँ मोरनी बागामा बोले आजी रात जब देखो चांदनी ओर मेरे नैना में हो बरसावा मेरे नैना में हो बरसावा जाने कौन घड़ी में निकले साजन घर से मैं घूंघट में जल गई कितने सावन बरसे जाने कौन घड़ी में निकले साजन घर से मैं घूंघट में जल गई कितने सावन बरसे मेरी प्यास ना बुझी रे बरसात माँ छनन छन चूड़ियाँ छनन छन चूड़ियाँ खनक गई देख साहिबा चूड़ियाँ खनक गई हाथ माँ मोरनी बाबा माँ बोले आजी रात माँ Mombasa, ping pong. Oi, 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 oi. Pak chiki lucky chum, rap chiki lucky chum. Pak chiki lucky chum, rap chiki lucky chum. मैं ख्वाबों की शहज़ादी किसी का इंतजार।
कौन है
वो जिससे मैं करती हूँ प्यार और जिससे करती हूँ मिन्नतें बार बार।
कैसे?
ऐसे।
साहिबान, कदरदान, मेहरबान, आज दिल थाम के बैठिए क्योंकि अब आपके सामने तशरीफ ला रही हैं आगरा की अजीम फनकारा मलिकाए हुस्न नूर नजर मोहतरमा मोहिनी।
ये निगाहें नश्तर, ये होंठ कौसर, मेरी आगोश में होश भी बेहोश होगा। ये शोखी, ये अदाएं, ये बांकपन, इनकी कीमत भला दुनिया तय कर सकती है क्या? बरखुरदार, हुस्न का मजाक ना उड़ा, कहीं हुस्न के हाथों तेरा मजाक ना बन जाए। मन चला है, खूबसूरत है,
लड़के और लड़के कहाँ से आया है रे तू, प्यारा है शक्ल से अकल का मारा है रे तू। लड़के और लड़के कहाँ से आया है रे तू, प्यारा है शक्ल से अकल का मारा है रे तू।
हाँ चल गई मेरी बातों से तू चल गई, हाँ खल गई तुझे खल गई मेरी बेपरवाही खल गई। ओ दरवा तू किस खेत की मूली है जरा पता।
टीवी पे ब्रेकिंग न्यूज आया मेरा घाघरा है, बगदाद से लेके दिल्ली आगरा। टीवी पे ब्रेकिंग न्यूज आया मेरा घाघरा है, बगदाद से लेके दिल्ली आगरा।
ऐसा पहली बार हुआ है 17-18 सालों में, अनदेखा अनजाना कोई आने लगा ख्यालों में। आंखों की खिड़की पर एक साया सा लहराता है, दिल के दरवाजे पर कोई दस्तक देकर जाता है। गहरी गहरी काली आंखें मुझसे मुझको पूछती हैं, हाथों की रेखाओं में एक चेहरा सा बन जाता है। ऐसा पहली बार हुआ है 17-18 सालों में।
मेरे ख्वाबों में जो आए, आके मुझे छेड़ जाए। मेरे ख्वाबों में जो आए, आके मुझे छेड़ जाए। उसे कहो कभी
लड़की है दीवानी है दीवानी 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 दीवानी
ये लड़का है दीवाना है दीवाना 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 दीवाना
कुछ लोगों का मानना है कि आज हमारे देश का हाल हमारी पुरानी इमारतों की तरह है। जो खूबसूरती थी वो कल में ही रह गई। मुझे दिखाई नहीं देता, शायद इसलिए अपने देश की खामियां मैं देखती नहीं। लेकिन जो देख सकते हैं वो हमारे देश की खूबसूरती क्यों नहीं देखते? शाहजहां ने जो कश्मीर के लिए कहा था वो हम कश्मीरी लड़कियां मानती हैं कि सारे हिंदुस्तान के लिए कहा जाना चाहिए कि अगर इस धरती पर कहीं जन्नत है तो वो बस यही है, यही है, यही है।
यहाँ हर कदम कदम पे धरती बदले रंग, यहाँ की बोली में रंगोली सात रंग। यहाँ हर कदम कदम पे धरती बदले रंग, यहाँ की बोली में रंगोली सात रंग। धानी पगड़ी पहने मौसम है, नीली चादर ताने अंबर है। नदी सुनहरी हरा समंदर है, देश सजीला देश रंगीला रंगीला, देश मेरा रंगीला, देश रंगीला रंगीला, देश मेरा रंगीला, देश रंगीला रंगीला, देश मेरा रंगीला, देश रंगीला रंगीला, देश मेरा रंगीला। रंगीला रंगीला, देश मेरा रंगीला, देश रंगीला रंगीला, देश मेरा रंगीला, देश रंगीला रंगीला, देश मेरा रंगीला, देश रंगीला रंगीला, देश मेरा रंगीला।
Wasn't that wonderful? I think we can put our hands together one more time for our dancing diva, Deepthi. Deepthi has been training in the various dance styles. As you have seen, we have touched multiple, and we will be touching multiple styles in the second segment under me for almost 4 to 5 months, and has shown tremendous growth and understanding of these varied styles. We've spent endless hours going through the vocabulary of the dances so that they are clearly represented, even though they are part of this grand presentation. This next segment continues to explore the new era of dancing queens and shows that no matter what times are, the language of dance and movement is timeless. In this segment, we have tried to show how old and new techniques have juxtaposed, making the choreography much more richer and intense. Showcasing now the most beautiful in the world, Aishwarya, the energetic Rani, the versatile Deepika, and the spirited Alia, this segment weaves through the movies of the more recent era in Bollywood and culminates in a grand finale that is not to be missed. Yes, don't walk out yet. This segment was challenging to choreograph, as my intention was not just to follow the predetermined moves and scenes, but to bring a fresh perspective to the choreography. Keeping that in mind and with Deepti's sense of adventure and adaptability, I pushed her to imbibe many movements and dances, which is extremely hard to do back to back with such speed and continuous changes. I'm sure you will enjoy the dances as much as we have had fun putting it together. And I want to quote, "I did not want to be a tree, a flower, or a wave. In a dancer's body, we as audience must see ourselves, not imitated behavior of everyday actions, not the phenomena of nature, not exotic creatures from another planet, but something of the miracle that is a human being. Great dancers are not great because of technique. They are great because of their passion." Dancing, I felt, is like dreaming with your feet. Take it away, Deepthi, and show us the dreams that I have envisioned and you have sketched with your feet. The dance is a poem of which each movement is a word. Please sound your encouragement with a round of applause. Here's welcoming you all again to the grand finale and presenting my star pupil, Deepthi.
तुम्हारी अदाओं पे मैं वाली वाली, तुम्हारी अदाओं पे मैं वाली वाली। तुम्हारी अदाओं पे मैं वारी वारी, 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 तुम्हारी अदाओं पे मैं वारी वारी। हर एक बात है जैसे, हर एक बात है जैसे मीठी कटारी। हाँ तुम्हारी अदाओं पे मैं वारी वारी, तुम्हारी अदाओं पे मैं वारी वारी। हाँ चलाते हो जो नैनों की बान तीखे, निशाना तुम ऐसा कहाँ से हो सीखे, कि दिल में कसक हो मगर प्यारी प्यारी। तुम्हारी अदाओं पे मैं वारी वारी, तुम्हारी अदाओं पे मैं वारी वारी। वारी वारी मैं वारी वारी, मैं वारी वारी, मैं वारी वारी, मैं वारी वारी, मैं वारी
कहती है ये दीवानी मस्तानी हो गई, दीवानी हाँ दीवानी दीवानी हो गई। Brother on the dance floor, and brother likes to party. Brother likes to move that lacy rather body. Brother on the dance floor, and brother likes to party. Brother likes to move that lacy rather body.
पंखट्टे आके सैया मरोड़े भैया
And everybody blames it on brother.
छेड़े हैं हमका नैया बेरी कन्हैया
And everybody blames it on brother.
होगा वो लाखों दिल का चोर हमका तो लगे बोर
हुआ है ऐसे बावला जो कहता जाए.
हो राधा तेरी चुनरी, हो राधा तेरा चल्ला, हो राधा तेरी नटखट नजरिया, हो राधा तेरा झुमका, हो राधा तेरा ठुमका, हो पीछे पीछे सारी नगरिया. हो राधा तेरी चुनरी, हो राधा तेरा चल्ला, हो राधा तेरी नटखट नजरिया, हो राधा तेरा झुमका, हो राधा तेरा ठुमका, हो पीछे पीछे सारी नगरिया.
डफली वाले डफली बजा मेरे घुंघरू बुलाते हैं आ मैं नाचूं तू नचा
ओ राधा तेरी चुनरी, ओ राधा तेरा चल्ला, ओ राधा तेरी नटखट नजरिया,
हो राधा तेरा झुमका, हो राधा तेरा ठुमका, हो पीछे पीछे सारी नगरिया.
नमस्ते बहनों और भाइयों, बड़े ही कम शब्दों में आपको सुनाना चाहता हूँ उस साल का लोकप्रिय गीत ये सलाम ले जाता हुआ उड़न खटोला और बीन बजाती हुई नागिन.
Shake your body, girl.
बजाती हुई
पियों संग घूमे कन्हैया रास रचैया राधा न जाए रे अब सावरा न भाए रे.
Could you all give her another loud round of applause? Next, I would like to introduce a very special person on stage. I met her 12 to 13 years ago, and we all have a connection with this person. Every person in this room who belongs in Connecticut and has celebrated New Year's, Dandiya, Garba, what else? Holi function, and a whole bunch of other public Indian cultural events have done it and become a community because of the leadership of this one person. And it's none other than Mini Pillai. So a loud round of applause for her. She has many other titles, none of which I am familiar with, but this is where our paths meet, the fact that she has organized so many events way before there were any major leadership groups with their own acronyms, if you will. And she has the special quality of taking on something and making it happen. And if you see her, you will not be aware of the load that she carries. And once again, introducing Mini Pillai. Mini Pillai, come on.
Good evening, everyone. Can we hear it out loud for Deepthi one more time? And maybe this time we need a standing ovation. Let's do it. I did not see anyone standing up and giving that standing ovation. I need all of you to stand up and give Deepthi a standing ovation. Wonderful, 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 wonderful. This girl, this beauty has been dancing for over 3 hours. Well, imagine one of us doing that. We will be going in an ambulance back home, right? Thank you, guys. Please be seated. Well, I am Mini Pillai, well, more known as Mini Santosh, finally taking my husband's name after 25 years. Well, I'm here for a good reason. It's a beautiful stage. It's a beautiful day. We found this beauty dancing with, you know, I could sit there all day looking at her. The whole idea of a guest started with Rama meeting up with me and she telling me, Minnie, this is what's happening. I have this big event for Deepthi, and I'm looking for a guest who would set a platform for people like Deepthi out there who are artists. And right away, this person's name, who's bigger than life, who's beautiful inside out, popped right there, the little bubble. You all know that, right? And that was Sati, Sati Prasad. Sati is from Guyana. She was born and then raised in Suriname. She has her wonderful 2 women titles, I would say role models, her mom and her grandmother here, who's 88 years old yesterday, who was sitting there enjoying Bollywood with her hands up, clapping. Kudos. We see you enjoyed it, Grandma. Yes. So going back to Sati, she has such an illustrated figure out there in the corporate world. But what she cares for most is what she has her passion towards, the roots. And having that corporate big figure and having written screenplays and written a novel lately, she decided to follow her dream. She's the founder and CEO of the World Heritage Cultural Center in New York. And it is like home right here for us. And that's the platform for people and artists like Deepthi going forward. She will talk to you more about her center, this big organization, which is nonprofit. But going back to World Heritage Cultural Center, which is formed and featured in 23 countries and have broadcasted over 160 countries, and is also lately an independent travel show in the National Geographical Special, the largest travel shows in the world. Sati is very proud of her achievements, humbly proud. She has organized over 300 cultural groups in United States alone and have been over 75 events in major United States cities. imparting over 900,000 attendees. Give her a big round of applause. She is here today with her crew. I call them her crew, her wonderful group of kids. That's Sati. She's here today with a wonderful group. I have to introduce the group. It's a bunch of kids, very smart kids. Kids are smart anyway, right? I'm a teacher. I'm telling you that. Count on that. Well, she has Shivam and his group of friends. Shivam, can I have you on stage? He and his friends will be giving away trophies and awards to Deepthi. Shivam is part of the kids board in the Center for Kids. And he is acclaimed, I would say, I have to read it right. He is the first, he won his Junior Leadership Award from the Huffington Post. And we have Gabby. Gabby, can I have you up here? She was the first female global junior leader down here. So both of them and her little crew here will be giving away the awards to Deepthi. Another piece that's happening tonight right here is a moment that will be captured in the cameras, all of yours, and out there is a moment that will be featuring in the Huffington Post, the next Huffington Post issue. So it's a big thing, capture it, you will see it featuring. Sati, this is all yours. Thanks for stopping by for such a wonderful event for our beautiful girl, Deepthi. Thank you, guys.
Thank you all. Thank you, Minnie, for that awesome introduction. I have to say, I don't know about any of you, but I feel like going home and having a party and invite Deepthi because this was amazing. I work, as Minnie mentioned, with over 300 cultural groups in the United States, and we've put on over 3,000 cultural performances. And I have to tell you, it takes a very special person with a very special energy to come on stage alone and captivate an entire audience like Deepthi's had. So she's my new hero. And speaking of her spirit, I mean, that's the essence of our organization. We're creating a common ground where any culture in the world can come and celebrate their way of life through the arts and food. And she's basically mirrored what we were doing, not just only, you know, giving love to her own culture, but embracing other cultures. And that's what we're all about, where we share cultural customs and values and hope that respect follows. And that's what our organization is about. And when I was asked to be the chief guest, I really wasn't sure what was expected of me, but I'm so happy I did this because honestly, I've never met Deepthi until now, and I don't think if I've known her for 10 years or 5 minutes, I know who she is. She's an awesome person, and her love of life is shown through the art that she loves. And please give her another round of applause for her achievement, her dedication. And it's really hard to do what she's done. And I know because it takes so much effort to learn about 5 seconds of choreography. And she's been dancing here all day. It's amazing. Thank you, Deepthi. So, as Minnie had mentioned, within our nonprofit, we have a board by kids for kids. And what they do, they make paintings and drawings, and we sell them, and they raise money for Orphans International. And we have the little Puerto Rican princess who's been dancing in the aisles with Deepthi all along. We have Shane, Gabby, Evan, Carter, sorry, I didn't see you. And they all dressed up in Indian clothes to honor the event and honor Deepthi's graduation ceremony. And I have to tell you, my grandmother, who's 88, I thought she was going to stay just for an hour, but she's here. She's partying still, so thank you. And on behalf of the kids, we would like to give you an award of appreciation. And I asked them, what would you like to put on the award? And they said, this is an epic moment, and that's what we put on the award, an Epic Life Achievement Award. And you're welcome. And I have to say, if we're stuck in any of the cities we work with, I'm just going to call Deepthi up because it's a one-woman show and she does a great job. Can we just take a quick...
We'd like to briefly thank Mini Auntie for introducing us to the chief guest and for speaking such kind words about Deepthi. So Deepthi's gonna give her some flowers now.
Hey everyone, so how did you like it so far? Okay. First, I would like to call all my gurus, Lisa Auntie, Anandita Auntie, Anudi, Brittany, and Gina is my other hip-hop teacher, but she couldn't be here today. There's really no way for me to explain how grateful I am that all of you are here today. I've had this dream for quite some time, and this is exactly how I envisioned it. Having everyone I love, people I've met at different stages of my life, all together in one room. For those who have had traveled from different states, across the country, even a few who traveled internationally to be here for me, I cannot thank you enough. Before I get into a long list of people who made sure that everything went smoothly and that I didn't do anything irresponsible to mess it up, I want to talk to you all about how I even got here. Since the beginning of time, dancing was a way for me to have the most fun, to relieve stress, and let's be real, to tune people out. As I grew older, it started to become a bigger and bigger part of my life, something I needed, which is also why I couldn't limit myself learning just one dance style. It's probably a little strange for people to see me dance to a song about Ganesha or Krishna 1 minute and then freaking out to Drake and Nicki Minaj the next. I love being able to integrate such different styles into what I collectively call my one passion. Although I think a piece of my dad's soul dies every time a Kanye West song plays in the room. It wasn't until I started my formal dance training at Dance Dimensions in Brookfield when I was 4 years old. When I initially started observing kids older than me, managing schoolwork, learning multiple kinds of dances, sometimes even teaching students of their own. They practically lived at that studio, breathing dance. I remember seeing scattered books everywhere because in between classes and water breaks, they would do their homework in the corner of the hallways. I remember being overwhelmed just being in that environment and thinking that was probably something I would never be able to do. Fast forward 14 years, and this is exactly what the last 10 months has been for me. Trust me, if all the prioritizing was really up to me, I would have put the entire college application process on hold just to prepare for this show. But naturally, that couldn't happen, and also my parents would have killed me. So when everything mattered the most, school, college, dance, my health, and maintaining my Snapchat streaks, everything sort of fell into place when I realized it all just needed to be done. I had no choice but to make it work, which brings me preparing for this show. My parents thought I was a little insane for wanting to do this because it involved the coordination of many teachers and dances class schedules that I think my mom still gets nightmares just from it. Just ask Divya how many times my mom has called her describing her heart palpitations. Not to mention that my dad uses every excuse to tell me exactly how many checks he's written over the last year. Yikes. This whole process just hasn't taught me the importance of discipline and perseverance, but it also opened my eyes to how many people it actually took me to get here. It was literally a village. First and foremost, my gurus. Without them, none of this would have happened. All of you took the vision I had made and made it a reality. Lisa Auntie, thank you so much for bringing me back to my roots. You took an American-born, confused Indian and installed the culture and traditions participated for generations before me. You showed me real discipline. Truly, thank you so much. Anudi. Anudi, you've seen me from the start. You kept pushing me even when I thought I reached my limit. More than being only a teacher, you became my friend, and it made this whole process so incredibly different. I love you. Brittany and Gina, you two put up with the craziness of it all, without even knowing what you were getting yourselves into. Both of you worked around all my stress, anxiety, nervousness, and turned it into a beautiful production. Gina recently became a first-time mother too. Little did she know she would have to put up with another child as well. She's right now on a well-deserved vacation and can't be here, but I really appreciate everything. Thank you so much to the Brookfield School of Performing Arts. You nourished my dreams and gave me a platform on my ambitions. I love Brittany. Can I have my orchestra on stage? For my extremely talented orchestra, Prakash Uncle, Skanda, and Sweta. You are incredible musicians, and I appreciate so much that you took your time out of your busy, busy lives to make my Bharatanatyam pieces come to life. Can we have one more round of applause for them? Divya Akka. You had the tempting choice of sitting in the audience and actually enjoying the show. Yet you agreed to join me in this madness. Dancing to your voice made this even more special for me. Thank you for all your love and support. You are the one person that I know I can always count on. Words cannot explain how much I love you. Now to my parents. Amma and Appa, despite all the evidence to the contrary, you two have believed in my ability to accomplish way more than I could ever imagine. And I have been quite the drama queen this last year. I mean, if we're being honest, that's kind of been the case for the last 18 years. But I've exceptionally been difficult recently. There's no contract for you guys to love and deal with me unconditionally, but I thank my lucky stars every day that you choose to do so. I love you guys so much. My grandmother is here all the way from India. Shantabati, you being here is something, let's say one more round of applause for my grandmother who has come all the way from India to be here with me. Shantapati, you being here is something I often take for granted. Your presence means so much to me because you are also representing the 3 grandparents that are watching over me right now. To my uncle, who couldn't be here tonight, Shringachitapa, you couldn't be here today, but your loves and blessings are the wind beneath my wings. Love you lots. Okay. And of course, all of you. You guys are my world, and I truly would not have gotten here without your connection, love, and support. I hope you enjoy watching this as much as I love preparing for it. You're the best extended family that I could have ever asked for. I hope you enjoyed the rest of the show and ready to pick out with me at dinner afterwards. Thank you.
Hi, everyone. Thank you so much to each one of you for coming today and supporting Deepthi. I can't believe this evening is over. I'm very glad this evening is over. And I'm sure there are a lot of people today who are equally glad that this is over. My thoughts go back to last May, and like most conversations happen in the car, Deepthi and I were talking about how this is the last year of dance before she moves to college. And it was a total surprise for me when she turned back. It was very unexpected. She turned back and said, "Ma, you know what? I want to do an Arangetram, but not the usual one. I want to showcase Bharatanatyam, Western, jazz, and lyrical, and I want to showcase Bollywood." I just looked at her and I thought she's totally lost her mind. You know, I was like, how do you do that? We were talking about, I was pretty negative, very negative. I didn't want to do it at all. We were talking about different teachers, different choreography, different schedules, very complicated costume changes, and the fillers between segments. First of all, I want to thank all of you for waiting so patiently between the fillers. It's not easy for Deepthi to change the costumes, and all of you have been very patient. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. But when I was very negative, Deepthi was very positive. She said, "Amma, I don't know how you're going to do it. I know it's very tough, but this is my dream, and this is what I want to do." And that's how the journey of Natyamala began. Deepthi, you proved today that anything is possible with determination and hard work. We are so proud of you. That said, our first thanks are to God for giving us strength and confidence to do this, and for ensuring this went well without any incident. We are so happy to see all our family who have traveled all so far. Thank you, Amma, for coming all the way from India. Your love and support means everything to us. Deepthi is indeed very fortunate to have her granduncles and grandaunts all the way from Maryland and Boston here today. Their blessings are always with her. In Indian culture, the guru, the teacher, is the embodiment of divinity. Our sincere thanks to her teachers who spent many hours training and preparing her for this momentous occasion, and also taught her what is real life about, because she really worked very hard, and that is what real life is about. Sati, our chief guest, your presence made this day very special for Deepthi. She's very fascinated with what you're doing and one day happens to travel just like you, sharing and imbibing World Heritage culture and experience. Thanks, Minnie, for bringing her today. No show is Organizing any event does not happen by vision and ambition alone. We are extremely fortunate to be supported by a team of family and friends, driven by their love for Deepthi and a desire to make her dream come true. So please be patient with me. I'm going to go to the thank yous really fast. It won't take more than 1 minute. No show is complete without a costume designer. And I want to give a big round of applause to Sasmita Satpathy, who you saw. All the Bollywood costumes were designed mostly by her. Thank you so much. Sasmita, I don't know, I can't see you, but thank you. As I mentioned earlier, I was simply overwhelmed by the task I had committed to. 2 people walked with me every step of the way. They were fed up of me, but they still walked with me. The voice of reason, the calming force, the helping hand, and many times knocking sense into my hard head. Alpana and Prabha, this show is as much yours as it's mine. Prabha was also instrumental in coaxing Deepthi through her daily practice routine. She would come home and spend hours practicing with Deepthi. Thanks, Prabha, for ensuring sanity between Deepthi and me, otherwise we would have killed each other. Vijaya, thank you so much for taking over the responsibility of the costume and makeup at the last moment. She looked divine on stage. Thank you so much. You saw them all through the event today, welcoming guests, getting snacks ready, showing you to your seats, helping during the bio break, volunteers in the red, yellow, and blue teams. My favorite people, thank you all. You guys totally rocked. And of course, to all of Deepthi's friends who helped us too. Changing Deepthi's costume during the Bollywood segment was no easy task. With about 30 to 45 seconds between each song, this was a tightly coordinated and choreographed activity to make sure she was on time for the song. To my Bollywood costume team, although our trial runs were a total disaster, you guys were absolutely fantastic today. On time. Couldn't have done without you. Thank you so much. My chai team, wonderful job. Thank you so much, guys. To my 3 MCs, you guys rocked. A big thank you to all the volunteers who have been helping us with the decorations, shopping, feeding us during the stage rehearsal day, and of course this morning. Matthew, great job on the photo shoot. Looking forward to the pictures and videos. Now, I'm almost done. Now can I have a quick round of applause for my tech team. Technical credits for today's shows goes to these wonderful people. Couldn't have done this show without them. Can you please have a round of applause? Gary on the lighting. It was a completely different concept for you, Gary, but you did it in a very short time. Thank you. Paul, thank you for coming all the way from White Plains. The audio was fantastic. Ravi and Arup, the video guys, absolutely flawless. Thank you. And of course, my dear Alpana. She was the QB behind the stage, coordinating audio, video, and lighting. One of the toughest jobs in my eyes. Her dream was to just have a headset. But Alpana, I must tell you that you used it perfectly well today, Colin. Vijay, your backstage coordination was spot on. Thank you for your unconditional support. Alpana, you used your headset absolutely perfect. Thank you so much. Couldn't have done without you. You are the best. I know you all are hungry and looking forward to dinner. Bear with us for a few more minutes, and after Mangalam, please go downstairs to the gym. Our food management team is going to make sure each one of you goes home very well fed and happy. Thank you, Santosh, Shekhar, and Rao, for all the hard work. I think I'm done with all the thank yous. If I have missed anyone, please forgive me. My mind is totally blanking out, and I need to just get out of the stage. This is my longest speech ever. I don't think I'll ever do it. Thank you again for your support, and enjoy the rest of the evening. Thank you.
There are shortcuts to happiness, and dancing is one of them. Deepthi certainly found this shortcut a long time ago. I heard about it, and you all saw in the slideshow that her passion for dance started even when she was a baby. As some of you know, it takes a very long time and committed practice to do a proper Bharatanatyam Arangetram. Most kids learn a decade or more before they do the Arangetram. Deepthi has been learning Bharatanatyam only for about 4 years or so. And with such a short time, I think what she did on stage, it's a big achievement for her, and I really want to congratulate her for that. Also, I want to congratulate Rama and Sriram for all their encouragement to Deepthi and making this show a success. I got to know Deepthi's family a lot closer in the last few months. Rama is a very good organizer and a perfectionist. She has been working very hard towards this day. I heard from several people she made different teams like blue team, yellow team, you name it. And she put every single person I know in the Danbury, Bethel, and Brookfield, everyone in one of the team. I was a little worried who is going to be in the audience, if she's put everybody in all different teams. With that, I met Prabha yesterday at another Arangetram, and I was telling her, Rema seems to be really nervous about this. She's very stressed out. And Prabha is like, oh, Lisa, don't worry about it. Once this is over, she'll find another reason to be worried about, and she'll stress about that. With all jokes aside, Emma is a wonderful, friendly person and very easy to work with. Deepthi, I think probably your mom is the reason you started Bharatanatyam, I guess. And Deepya probably is Deepthi's biggest fan. Every time at rehearsals, I see her eyes opens up in amazement when she sees her little sister dance at every move she makes. I met Sriram only about 6 months back when Deepthi started coming to the private classes at my house. What I know about him, he really enjoys Carnatic music, and he has over 10,000 songs in his phone. Even I don't have that many. I also want to thank the esteemed orchestra, Mr. Prakash Rao. Thank you so much for your great support on the Mridangam. And Divya for the melodious vocal support. You have such a beautiful voice, Divya. Keep it up. Shweta for the wonderful violin support. And Skanda for the flute. I also want to wish you all the very best for your upcoming Arangetram, the flute and vocal Arangetram next Sunday. All the best. I'd like to thank my gurus for their blessings. Lastly, all of you, the wonderful audience, for all your encouragement to Deepthi. Now I'd like to present the appreciation plaque to Deepthi. Congratulations, Deepthi.
I'm Brittany. I've worked with Deepthi for this performance on her lyrical dance, but 4 years ago I met her. We were standing outside our dance studio, and I didn't know who she was, and she didn't know who I was, clearly because she said, "Oh, do you teach here?" And I said, "Yep, that's my picture up on the wall over there where all the other teachers are." And then she said, "Well, I really love dancing, and I'm going to start going to this studio, and maybe I'll have you as one of my teachers." And I was like, "Okay, cool." And then 2 months later, there she was in 2 of my classes. So I taught Deepthi for 3 years. I had her for hip hop, and I had her for lyrical. She's always been extremely passionate about what she does, what she's talking about. I would often hear her say, she would walk into class, she'd go, "You know, I was really tired after school today, and I wasn't sure if I really wanted to come here, but then I came here and I'm so glad I did. I had such a good time. This was so much fun." But in a more serious note, I've seen her grow from somebody that was a little bit shyer than that to a inquisitive and wonderful and bright and very complimentary grown woman. She's made me laugh a lot, whether she wanted to or not. This year when she was applying to colleges, she told me she was applying to Keene State College. She's like, "Have you heard of it?" And I was like, I went there my first semester of school. I was on the dance team there, and so I had talked to her about it. And then she got into the school, and she texted me, "Oh my God, Britt, you're never going to believe it. I got into Keene." Because even though it was through text, you knew that's how she was talking. And so I said, "Oh my God, that's great." I was like, "Okay, we're going to be fellow owls." And she's like, "I don't know if I'm going to go there." And then a month later, she's like, "Well, I'm going, we're doing it, I'm doing it." So I'm very excited for her to go there, even though I left after a semester. We have a shared commonality there. So I'm wishing Deepthi the best of luck in her endeavor, and if she knocks out of the park, as she did tonight, dancing for hours on end, she's going to do great in her future. So good luck, Deepthi, and I love you.
How wonderful to be the last one to speak, and nice to hear how what a relationship she has with all her teachers. I won't take too much of your time, but I would definitely say my heart out because it took a while for me to pen this down, and it comes from a heart, and I need her to hear it on her day of her graduation. So please bear with me for 2 minutes max. Deepthi, I cannot begin to say how proud I have always been and will be of you and your achievements. Can I have Deepthi on stage, please? Thank you. I am a dancer. I believe that we learn by practice, whether it means to learn to dance by practicing dancing or to learn to live by practicing living. In each, it is the performance of the dedicated preciseness of act, physical or intellectual, from which comes shape of achievement, a sense of one's being, a satisfaction of spirit. One becomes in some area an athlete of God. And you today have proved, Deepthi, that you are a true athlete of God. But I might add that it takes an athlete to dance, but an artist to become a dancer. For me, that is the true sign of graduation into the next phase of your life and learning, where it is only moving higher and further up. Dancing with the feet is one thing, but dancing with the heart is another. Today you have danced with your heart, and that is what is my only utmost gift to you. To love what you do and live, breathe, and enjoy dance. I'm grateful you chose me as your guide in this journey. Congratulations, kudos, and blessings and love to the hilt for your future. I'm always there for you, only a text away. Bound by love, bound by dance. Thank you, Rama and Sri Ram, as phenomenal parents who have shaped such a wonderful child, and for trusting in me and giving me the utmost freedom to bring my concept and ideas to life. Very grateful to you for your affection, care, love, and respect. Could not thank Sri Ram enough for the technical help with the music and the multimedia, for the endless hours of discussions and edits, revisions after revisions. I think we are at version 15 by now. This presentation would not have been possible without you. Ravi and Arup for the technical support, Prabha, Rama, Yamuna for the numerous round of costume rehearsals, going through this tremendous routine, a huge hug for all the 1,000 pinpricks you have endured for Deepthi. I could not have asked for a better team of hard workers. Alpana for the lights and coordination. Staging is a very important part of any presentation. Divya, thank you for the help with the makeup and hair and listening to me and complying. Thank you so much. And thank you, Deepthi, for bringing my ideas into reality. Last but not the least, my star prodigy, Deepthi, for giving me this opportunity to work with her on this choreography and concept. Ever grateful.
Pavama